Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's a little bit of a different video for me. I entered a fall tag swap hosted by Rosa Kelly here on YouTube. We are to create 5 identical fall themed tags using a Julie Nutting doll. And this is what I came up with. And considering that I have 4 more to make of these identical to this one, I thought that this would be a great opportunity to do a craft with me video. So like I said, this is the first I've done one of these before, so please bear with me. I will be fast forwarding certain areas to kind of save time because this tag did take me a few hours to complete, but now that I don't have to think about anything and I just have to put it together, I'm hoping that it's not going to take too long. I do have most of the supplies ready to go. I have stamped out the doll and her dress and her jacket and all that already to save a little bit of time. And I have my hot glue gun ready to go. So yeah, I thought this would be a great time to create one of these with you guys. So first I have the base, and as usual with any of these type of projects, I always use a cereal box as the base. However, I'm gonna do things a little bit differently because I'm gonna have, so what I did was I layered on a piece of paper on top of another, and I kind of cut it slightly smaller so that I have that frame. So the top part is what I'm actually going to be using the cereal box for. So I have it all cut out. So I will just use my glue. So I'm just going to line it up, and that way go. I'm gonna just cut off the excess here. So now, what I did was I used this napkin here that I got from the Dollar Tree, and I decoupaged this on top. So, I don't know if you can see it, everything, it's quite covered, but you can see you can see the leaves there. And I thought that was really cool because it's kind of got like a wood grain effect as well. So, I'm just going to take off the first top layer here. Okay, and then I will use Mod Podge to decoupage it on. So I'm just going to take my napkin and lay it on top. Just try to make it even and kind of get rid of, you know, any bubbles that might come. I'm not too concerned though because I'm going to be layering a whole bunch of stuff on top anyway. So even if I did have bubbles, it's, whoops, not a huge deal. Okay. So I'm going to layer on another layer of this Mod Podge, just so it's sealed in and nice and adhered. So sorry, I'm not a very chatty person when I craft. I tend to get kind of in a zone, so I do apologize if I become silent because I'm just into crafting this tag, but I will try. Okay, so that's a good layer. So you can leave this overnight to let it dry. I have a heat gun that I'm going to use so that I can speed up the drying process. Okay, so now I'm just going to cut off the excess. Okay, so now that we got that done, just gonna clean it up a little bit on the edges here. Next, I'm going to edge it with a gold pen that I got from Daiso. I'm just gonna go over the edges just to give it a little bit of definition. As you can see, I'm not being super precise. I'm just kind of giving it a thin edge. So that is the top of the tag. Let me just cut this off here. Okay, so that's the top of the tag. So next I'm going to stamp it. Using this Bow Bunny stamp that I got a Tuesday morning, I'm going to use the crackle. And while I'm doing that, I'm sure you've noticed that I have a different working surface than I usually would have in my videos. This is a silicone pad that I got from Dollarama, and it is, I think, just like one of those regular baking pads, but it is great for crafting because it not only saves my table, but it's actually a useful tool, and I'll show you what I mean. So I'm just going to put it on the stamp pad. Because I don't want a super dark image, I'm just going to stamp it a couple of times on the silicone pad, and that's what I mean. It's just, it gives it a nice faint effect, and I'm sorry that's kind of jostling the camera a little bit, but anyway, and there you go. The best thing about the silicone pad here is that I can just spray some water, take a towel, and just wipe it off. Super, super handy. So definitely would recommend getting one of these pads to work on. Okay. So now that that's done, I am going to now take the back piece and distress the edges first. There you go. Okay. Now that that's done, I'm going to now place this on top. And to do that, I am going to use some double-sided tape. I find that that's the easiest way to... I tried glue and it became a little wonky, like it warped the paper a little bit, so I don't want to do that. So I'm just going to use the double-sided tape. Nothing special about this tape. It's the one that I got at, where did I get this? Your dollar store with more. But I think Dollar Tree sells them too. Okay, there we go. Give it a good rub. Actually, I'm going to put one in the middle as well. Okay, so I'll just take off. Okay, so now I'm just going to kind of eyeball it and make sure that it's in the right place before placing it down. There we go. And that is basically the base of the tag. Now we move on to the decorating. So first so next we'll move on to this piece right here. It's just a die that I cut out using some white cardstock, and I'm just going to distress it using the same dauber that I used for the tag itself, just to kind of give it... Sorry, this is totally jostling the camera. I'm so sorry. But anyway. So. Okay. So this one, I'm going to use some glue. I'm just going to kind of do it on an angle like this, and then cut off the excess. Okay. So now I'm going to use a doily as a layering piece here. I'm going to cut off a little bit on the side, and since I can't cut to save, or cut straight to save my life, I'm going to use my paper trimmer. Okay. So now I'm just going to use some glue to adhere that down. On the side like that. Okay. Next I have this piece of lace that I have cut to size, and that's just gonna go in the middle like that. Actually, I think it's supposed to, yeah, that way. And for this, I'm gonna use some more double-sided tape. I guess you could use fabric glue for this as well. But I find that the double-sided tape is a really nice way to adhere a piece of lace down, just because it's not bulky. And okay, so that's just gonna go in the middle like so. So that's the basic tag shape, I guess you can call it. And now we can work on the decoration. And I will start with the Julie Nutting doll. So this is the one that I used. I got it at Michael's recently. Super cute. And like I mentioned earlier, I have stamped out her dress and her jacket, as well as her headband and shoes, just to save a little bit of time, so this video is not uber long. But before I paper piece her together, I'm going to color in the areas that are not going to be covered with pattern paper with Copics. And I'll be using these colors here. Okay, so we got our girl all colored up. I know I'm not an expert on coloring, I'm sorry, I'm still learning, but I like the way that it's turned out. So now I'm going to paper piece all her pieces together. So I'm going to cut this dress out first. Okay, so that will go on like that. Then I will cut the jacket out. Okay, and so that's gonna go on like that. So I'm going to now just glue it down. Okay. Okay, so now I'm just going to glue on the left, and that will go over the dress a little bit, like that. And then the other side. Okay, here we go. So that's basically, oh no, sorry. I still got her shoes and her headband. So I stamped her shoes and headband onto this rose gold paper, and I will show you why I did that without using StazOn. So I used regular Memento, what is it called? Memento ink or stamp pad, and because it's a shiny surface, it's never going to be permanent, but that's okay. Okay, so that's a shoe, and then here is okay. So the reason why I did it that way, if I can just turn this around, oh my god, there we go, is because it's on a non-porous surface. If I just, I can wipe it off because I didn't want that outline. So now I can just glue them on. All right, so we got this far. I'm going to cut her out. Okay, so one thing I forgot to do and realized when I was cutting her out was that I needed to color her laces in. And I did that using the same gold pen that I used for the edge of the tag. There you go. And now I need to use a box cutter to cut that section out. And then I like to go over the entire stamp with a darker color like this kind of dark brown here, and just go around the edges just to hide that white. So now she's done. Now I can bring her back to the tag and start putting the tag together. So now, okay, so if you look at this tag, you can see that I put a wooden corner flourish here. And so I have one ready to go. And as you can see, I've already painted it gold. So I'm just going to use my hot glue gun to adhere that. I'm just going to put it in the corner here, like so. And so she's going to sit, or not sit, she's going to stand on top of that wooden piece down there. So I'm just going to use some foam dots, or pop dot adhesives they're called. Next I have this trim, and I'm going to cut 3 roses worth. I'm just going to cut around it. So I'm just left with the roses. All right, so that's just gonna go on the bottom of her dress like that. And for that, I'll use some more double-sided tape just on the bottom of her dress. Okay. And just adhere that. Slightly higher. Okay, there we go. All right, so now we can work on the flowers. I started with this sunflower that I got, this orange sunflower that I got at Dollar Tree. So I always start from the center and then move my way up. So I'm gonna put that around the middle of the doily. On there. Next flowers are these ones here. These kind of peachy colored ones. And I'm just gonna follow the shape of the doily a little bit. So it's gonna be kind of like in an arc. Then I have these roses. So next I did cut some of these leaves in gold foil out of, we're using this the skeleton leaf die. I'm just gonna pop out the, here we go. So I'm going to cut this in half. And I'm just gonna tuck it into the flowers here. So put one here. I'm gonna put another one here. Like that. And I'll cut the little ones in half as well. And I'm gonna put one here. And then I'm gonna put one up here. Like that. Super pretty. Now I have some stamens. And I got these at my local fabric store. I'm just going to fold it in half and kind of twist it so there's an area where you can put some glue. So I'll put one here and just kind of fan it out. So take another one. That one I'll put up here. And again, just kind of fan it out. And then one more. And this one, I'm gonna just tuck in here and fan out like that. Okay. So now I'm just gonna grab some pine cones. Okay, so just grabbing one of these little ones. And I'm just gonna tuck one right here behind the sunflower. Grab one more little one. Put some glue on it. Oops. And I'm just gonna tuck it in here. Okay, so that's coming together. So now I have this section to fill in. For that I have this flower. And I'm just gonna use some more glue. I'm just gonna put it in the corner like that. So next I have this little mushroom wooden piece. I'm gonna color it gold with some acrylic paint. And I just got this at the Dollar Tree. And I'm just gonna quickly color it gold. And then leave that to dry. That won't take very long. Acrylic paint takes no time to dry. I am so sorry, my phone just cut out and stopped recording, and I didn't realize it, so a lot of this stuff that I did with the sequins and the mushroom probably wasn't captured, so I do apologize, but I just added some sequins, and then that mushroom that I painted gold, I stuck underneath this flower, and then I just put on the ribbon. That's pretty much all that I think I missed. So now I'm just going to add this bow that I created. And I'm just going to adhere it to that. And then I have this gold flat back that I'm going to put in the middle. Okay, then the final touch, I'm going to take some of my Spectrum Noir and I'm just going to go over her jacket and give it a little bit of sparkle. That's what I love about the Spectrum Noir. It's just such a subtle glimmer. It's not super sparkly like Stickles. Just gives that very, just like that hint of sparkle, which is what I like. There we go. So that's it. That is the completed tag. Again, I apologize that part of it got cut off, but I hope you enjoyed it anyway. Thank you so much for watching. I will do a project share, but I probably won't go over it as much just because I went through the entire thing here. But thank you again for watching, and until my next video, have an awesome day. I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.